Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving right into one of the most complex, yet absolutely crucial elements of modern hotel operations: strategic work-life balance. And look, we're not just going to treat this as some simple human resources checklist. Instead, we're looking at it as a core driver of your future organizational success.
Hello and welcome. I am a hotel AI expert with extensive experience in modern hospitality operations and performance support. I am pleased to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. We look forward to supporting your professional growth in the hospitality industry. As future leaders, your ability to truly master the concepts we're discussing today is going to directly impact the service quality and the operational excellence of the properties you'll manage one day.
Here is our agenda for today. 1. The Work-Life Challenge. 2. Defining Hospitality Balance. 3. The Leadership Influence. 4. Strategic Scheduling and Staffing. And 5. The Engagement Payoff.
Section 1. The Work-Life Challenge.
Look, we all know the hospitality industry it's a completely unique beast. We're talking continuous 24/7 operations. The doors never actually close, right? So by default, that means shift work, mandatory weekend duties, and it requires this constant agile responsiveness to fluctuating guest demand. And honestly, these aren't bugs in the system. They are the baseline features of the business. But, because of these constant demands, the lines between work and personal life get super blurry, making any kind of equilibrium a really massive challenge.
Section 2. Defining Hospitality Balance. So, what are we actually talking about here? Let's define it. Work-life balance is an employee's ability to meet their work responsibilities while, at the exact same time, maintaining their personal well-being, their family relationships, and their social commitments. It's a really delicate balancing act. And in the ultra-high-pressure world of luxury hospitality, hitting that sweet spot is hands down one of our biggest engagement hurdles. Because think about it, if your team can't fulfill those basic personal and social needs outside of work, their professional output on the floor is absolutely going to degrade over time.
And this is exactly where the friction happens. When our hardcore operational realities, the 24/7 shifts, the wild demand swings, when those aren't managed properly, we start seeing some really clear manifestations of imbalance. We're talking fatigue, chronic stress, and eventually total burnout. But honestly, the absolute most dangerous result? Emotional disengagement. Sure, an employee might physically show up, punch the clock, but if they are emotionally checked out, that authentic, genuine warmth, which is literally our primary product, just vanishes. And that is a critical operational failure.
Section 3. The Leadership Influence.
Okay, I want to pause right here and pose a really pivotal question for you to think about. Is work-life balance just a personal issue that an employee needs to sort out on their own time, or is it actually a strategic organizational issue? Seriously, take a second and think about how managers you've worked with in the past might have answered that.
Well, the modern answer is incredibly clear. Over at Europe Hotel School London, they heavily emphasize that balance is fundamentally a strategic issue. It is not a personal failing. Treating burnout like it's just a sign of weakness in an employee, that's an outdated, frankly destructive way to manage. Top-tier organizations today absolutely recognize that managing the energy and the well-being of their staff is literally just as crucial as managing the financial budget.
Because at the end of the day, leadership sets the tone. Think about those toxic cultures that glorify excessive hours, or the ones that demand you're constantly available in email, even on your days off. Those cultures actively kill engagement. On the flip side, when leaders actually model healthy boundaries, when they respect personal time and accommodate reasonable requests, that sends a huge message. It gives employees permission to do the same, and it builds a highly sustainable, high-performing environment.
Section 4. Strategic Scheduling and Staffing.
All right, let's look at the actual operational levers you can pull to make this happen. Scheduling is totally central to this, and here's a straightforward 3-step approach. Step 1. Predictability. Getting those schedules posted way in advance so your team can actually plan their lives and recover between shifts. Step 2. Fair scheduling. When you actively consider employee preferences, you build so much trust. But we know hotels are unpredictable, right? Sometimes you just can't be flexible. That brings us to Step 3. Transparency. When you have to make those tough scheduling calls, communicating openly about why it's happening goes a really long way in keeping your team's goodwill. But it's not just about how you schedule, it's about who.
Staffing levels make or break this balance. Chronic understaffing is such a dangerous trap. Like, sure, maybe it saves a little on labor costs today, but the workload and stress it dumps on your remaining team is massive, and that inevitably leads to disengagement and turnover, which is way more expensive in the long run. So investing in adequate staffing isn't just another expense. It's an investment in your team's well-being and your service consistency. You can't have sustainable performance without giving people the capacity to rest.
Implementing these things sends what we call organizational care signals. Things like flexible scheduling options, letting peers swap shifts easily, or just having respectful time-off policies. Now, are these going to magically erase the chaos of a busy hotel? No, of course not. But they signal to your staff that you actually care. They show respect for employees as real people with lives outside the property. And ultimately, that's what solidifies their psychological commitment to your operation.
Section 5. The engagement payoff.
So why do we put all of this strategic effort into work-life balance? Well, the data is super clear. Supported employees totally transform your operation. They become way more resilient when the busy season hits. Their focus is sharper, meaning fewer mistakes. They are deeply motivated, and most importantly, they bring true authenticity to their interactions with guests. That is the ultimate goal, right? It creates this amazing positive feedback loop where high employee engagement directly drives elite service quality and amazing guest satisfaction.
As we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you all with a challenge. The intense operational demands of the hospitality industry, they aren't going anywhere. But how you respond to them is completely up to you. As a future leader, you have a distinct choice to make. Is the culture you build going to drive your best talent straight into burnout, or will you use strategic work-life balance to elevate your team and supercharge your guest service? The success of your future property really does depend on your answer. Thanks so much for joining us.